Good morning, Abiding Presence, friends and family of Abiding Presence Lutheran Church. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Verla Fleming, and I am a charter member of this congregation. I want to talk to you this morning about how prayer has influenced my life and how it has brought about this congregation. It was in 1965, and my husband and I were on the way from Iowa to our new home in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We were looking forward to finding a new church, making new friends, starting a new job, and adding children to our family. Our first home was an apartment, and when we got moved in and settled a bit, we started looking for a new church home. We visited 3 different Lutheran churches in the area and thought we had found our place at Epiphany Lutheran Church in Winston-Salem. But God had other plans for us. I received a letter from my mom telling me that there was a new Lutheran mission congregation being formed that we needed to look into. We thought she was talking about Epiphany Lutheran Church as they were still on a mission status. But that same week, there came a knock on my door, and I opened it to find 2 young age girls wanting to talk to us about a new Lutheran mission congregation that was being formed, that was named Providence Lutheran Church, being formed in the area. We attended the service at Providence Lutheran that next Sunday, and lo and behold, sitting over there in the corner was an organ, and nobody to play it. Well, did we see God at work? And lo and behold, wow, I guess we did. Yep, we had found our church home, and I became their organist and choir director. Our prayers had been answered, because after we joined the church, we had found our friends, and then purchased a home, and then started our family. So our family moved to Fuquay, Verla in 1978, and at that time there was no Lutheran church here or in any of the surrounding towns. We had to drive to Raleigh to attend services in the Lutheran tradition, and we spent pretty much of the day getting to, attending, and getting back home again. We began asking God in our daily prayer to help us build a Lutheran congregation here. And we were not alone, although we didn't know it at the time. It wasn't until about 8 years later that we learned there were several other Lutherans living in Fuquay who were also going to Cary and Raleigh area to attend services. Soon we heard that the North Carolina Synod was looking for property in Fuquay to eventually build a Lutheran church. We were so excited. Then we learned that they had found a piece of property, but that it needed to be rezoned for a church, and they needed people to attend the town council meeting and speak up for the property to be rezoned. It was there that we learned of other people who were interested in building a church here, and from there, Abiding Presence Lutheran Church was born. Oh, there were many more meetings and church services in George Hallenbeck's basement and in Trinity Episcopal Church and in that dark, dingy, dreary high school auditorium. But we finally built the first unit of our church. We were a congregation, and our prayers had been answered. God had been with us, with each of us, through all of the hard discussions and the decision-making process. And we grew until finally we grew to the point that we had to have more space. So we started having discussions and praying about adding on to our existing building. And what would meet our needs? What could we afford? And how would we pay for it? And so we asked God to help and guide us, and from there, this beautiful sanctuary and fellowship hall was built. So, dear friends, God answers our prayers. We only need to ask, as it states in Luke 11, verse 9, "Ask and it shall be given, seek and ye shall find, knock and it will be opened unto you." We need to pray for our church and for this campaign. We need to ask God for guidance in our decisions on what we are able to give. When I make my plan for my offering each Sunday, I first remember that God has first given to me. And how can I not give back a portion of that gift? So I ask you, please pray for this church. Please pray for this congregation and its leaders. Please pray for this campaign that we might be able to get out from under this huge debt and be able to do God's work through our ministry here. Please pray that God will guide you in making your decision about how you can help and how you will give to the campaign. Your offering, your giving is highly individual, a unique personal experience response to God. It has to be appropriate to your level of income, your level of faith, and your level of love. It should be an expression of what God is doing in your life. Then you will know the true joy of giving. Thank you.